think Sweden's got something going. Singapore's got something going. There's one in the Bahamas. There's one in Barbados. So there's a few up and running, being kind of tested. It's very clear that this is where everybody's going. I mean, the ECB have made it absolutely clear. The Fed have made it clear. The Bank of England made it really clear. So, but the bigger game to be played is the central bank digital currencies.
Welcome to Dream Richer. With the ever-increasing advancements in technology, what do you think the future looks like for Bitcoin? Today, the millionaire and well-known crypto investor Raoul Pal argues, where he sees Bitcoin being used in the future. So far, we have already seen Bitcoin increase in adoption, which is expected to boost even further because of the Lightning Network being built out. The Lightning Network is a second layer added to Bitcoin's blockchain that allows off-chain transactions between parties that are not on the blockchain network. If scaled properly, this blockchain network will be able to handle millions, if not billions of transactions per second. That's correct. 1 billion transactions per second. This is why many investors are more bullish on Bitcoin's development than ever. The Lightning Network charges low fees by transacting and settling off-chain, allowing for new use cases like instant micropayments that can solve the traditional "can you buy coffee with crypto" conundrum. Hence, all in all, we are bound to see an increase in speed of Bitcoin processing times and reduction in its energy costs. This will improve the use case for Bitcoin and ultimately increase the price of Bitcoin into the bull's direction. If you find the video helpful, then don't forget to subscribe. Let's get right into it.
I've been writing about this for about a year, saying the first country is going to do something is one of the Latin American countries. Kind of knowing that region, knowing how scarred they are by currency devaluations. El Salvador's interesting. I don't think it's as clear-cut a case as everybody thinks it is. And it's interesting because it's already dollarized. So it's not like they had their own shitcoin that was getting devalued. They'd already gone through the process. So what was the real value here? To get out of the dollar? Well, you don't want to have a 70-volt asset as your base layer. What you really need is it's remittances. I think it's to get money back into the country easier, and other things. Now, it'll change over time. There'll be uses for it, but people buying coffee with Bitcoin, it doesn't make any sense. Now, using the Lightning layer to send stuff around, okay, that's fine. No problem, because it's dollar to dollar, but just use Bitcoin rails. That's all okay. The jury's out. Yes, it's interesting. Yes, it's a step in the road in the right direction to where the world is going. But the bigger game to be played is the central bank digital currencies. This is an absolute game changer.
There is already over $110 million in Bitcoin that have been locked into the Lightning Network. These could be people paying for goods and services, utilizing apps, gambling, and more. However, Raoul Pal argues that despite the ever-growing bullish case for Bitcoin, he is looking forward to seeing central bank digital currencies. Central bank digital currency is a potential new form of digital money that would be a liability of the central bank. Simply put, it would be like a digital version of cash that is universally accessible, presumably via wallets on phones, and possibly via purpose-built devices like smart cards. Ultimately, this digital currency aims to supplement cash, but with the underlying plumbing of cryptocurrencies and the ability to interact with decentralized platforms.
Yeah, China's going to be the first. There's a few others, practice ones going on. I think Sweden's got something going. Singapore's got something going. There's one in the Bahamas. There's one in Barbados. So there's a few up and running, being kind of tested. It's very clear that this is where everybody's going. I mean, the ECB have made it absolutely clear. The Fed have made it clear. The Bank of England made it really clear. So it's happening. The issue is, do you build all the infrastructure in the government sector and try and keep up with the ridiculous pace of change that's going on in the private sector, or do you use private sector rails? I think they're all going to move to private sector rails in the end. I think it makes no sense. I think they can create the asset, create the on-ramp and off-ramp with the government and the tax system and everything else. Maybe even they create government wallet that's interoperable with your own wallet. I think the ECB is just about to do this now. Europe is, which is your own identity and everything else within this wallet. And that's your interaction with the state. I think that's absolutely fine. And then, whatever mechanisms of transferring that around, because, now the world is interoperable. I don't care if I send you a euro from here. I don't care whether it goes on Bitcoin, XRP, or any other rails. It doesn't matter as long as you get what you want in the end. But again, the world's so worried about what? It could be XRP. That's outrageous. I'm like, I don't care. The actual problem you're solving is me sending you a euro instantaneously. It's not about what protocol it runs on. What's interesting to me now is, okay, we've launched this big mega thing with massive money behind it, all the big names, people are offloading it, it's down 90 odd %. Now, the question is, okay, does it have any probability of getting any network effects? Because the money they've raised is still there, right? So they can build out an ecosystem over the next 5 years. The question is there, not for this cycle, but is there something in this? Because if it's big, if it's real and does what is talked about, I mean, it's massive. If it gets adoption. Yeah, because I think all of these have S-curves in the middle, right? And the S-curve is the existential crisis, is do you survive or not survive? And they all go through numerous ones. Bitcoin's been through a load of these, and arguably it just went through an S-curve, this late spring, early summer. And, when they survive, the Lindy effects take hold and the network becomes more robust. So it's clear that the internet computer is going through an S-curve moment. It could be a total failure, or something may come out of the ashes. I think as you said, if you can launch slower, I think that's the thing, is launch slower, you can build better than the big launch. I think Paul coming out and saying that he was interested in crypto along with Stan and a bunch of these other guys has given basically every hedge fund the green light. Doesn't mean anything for the institutions. Sure, it helps at the margin, but it basically, if the godfathers of the hedge fund world said it's got our blessing, it's got the blessing. So everybody's allowed to go and do it. And I know Paul pretty well, and whatever he says he's doing, Stan is the same. It may vary in the next 10 minutes. Stan can be more structural. Paul is very tactical. So the numbers he is talking about is kind of like in his head, an ideal weighting, not that he necessarily has it. He might have it for his own pool of capital, but he is a trader at heart. So it'll move around. He doesn't care about being short something he loves either. So if he thinks Bitcoin's going to go down, he'll short it too. But overall, what he's trying to signal is he thinks there's more inflation and Bitcoin plays a bigger part of it. So, his allocation's gone up. And again, that's just a credibility statement because everybody respects him and he's a good guy. What's really fascinating now, and you've seen it in this last correction, is even though everyone kind of pisses around on Twitter freaking out, nobody actually cares. A bunch of, Asian 100x traders got stopped out. Even they don't care. Most of them laugh about it. So I don't think the space really cares about the volatility any longer. And I think everybody involved in the space has made such a good job of telling people about the cycle that I don't think even institutions are going to be put off. So I think that, people just put their heads down and get on with their building of stuff. And I think we reached tipping point this cycle because of the explosion of DeFi. It's just now become this, again, another supermassive black hole of talent. So it's not just capital now, it's talent as well. And I don't think anybody now would be freaked out by the market going down 90%, or I think people would be more freaked out if it traded sideways for a year and a half. I think that would kill everybody because people are so used to living off adrenaline. And I think people are getting this all wrong. And I got it wrong for a long time. The clearest example is this exponential age network effect stuff that I talk a lot about. I got it so wrong because Amazon, right? Back in 2010, Amazon was worth more than all the books ever sold on Earth before. Now, maybe earlier 2010, maybe 2007, right? Than every book ever sold and all the book companies added together. Amazon basically just sold books. And I'm like, what the fuck? How can this have a P of 700? This is ridiculous. It's a bubble. Everyone's an idiot. I'm the genius. I know how to value these things. And I was completely dead wrong because it was never a bookseller. It was just the first foray into creating a massive network effect business model, unlike of which the world had never seen. I think Tesla's the same story. I don't think it's a car company. And that's what the share price is telling you.
It's clear from Raoul Pal's explanation that the payment system at large is bound to see different assets enter the market. We have already seen cryptocurrencies and stablecoins make a name for themselves. However, central bank digital currencies could be the next big thing after Bitcoin. Skeptics argue that cryptocurrencies have no intrinsic value and rely on users' trust in the software protocol that controls the system. Likewise, the backing arrangements for stablecoins have had varying degrees of credibility, especially in the case of Tether, which was recently fined $41 million by the U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission for misleading statements regarding its assets being fully backed. What do you think the ultimate payment system looks like? Do you agree with Raoul Pal's opinion? To learn more about the latest crypto news, watch these videos here.